Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. I got Phil Cooke with me here on The Price of Business from philcooke.com, and Cooke spelled C-O-O-K-E. And great topic for us today. He's a social media expert. You've probably seen him on MSNBC, the New York Times, CNN, Fox News. And just delighted to have you on the program. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm thrilled to be here.
Hey, so what can we learn from the Kardashians about social media?
Well, one thing, they're very intentional about it. You know, it's interesting that so many people use social media just as a toy. They just think that, well, maybe this is something I can play with or shoot pictures of my taco platter at the Mexican restaurant. But the truth is, a social media strategy can really influence people in a number of ways. And we have to be intentional about it, and we have to be really serious about how to change people's thinking.
And here, I thought I was the only one who took pictures of taco platters at Mexican restaurants. So, dang, I kind of feel like I'm just part of the mob now. So, yeah, so that's a good point. You know, and there's a lot of companies out there that are calling them social media experts and that people are hiring to get their social media done. But are many of them really helping you develop a strategy, or do they even know how to develop a strategy?
It's really true. It's really true. And maybe we could talk about some of the things that go into that kind of strategy that the Kardashians and other Hollywood celebrities know that business leaders really don't get yet.
Okay, I do want to do that. And in fact, I'm writing myself an email as we speak. So go right ahead. I want to be better at social media. I've got around 50,000 combined in all my social media. But you know what? I can certainly do better. I'm not in the millions like the Kardashians.
Well, obviously, they have certain platforms that we don't have access to. They're on national television frequently. But the truth is, I think we can all increase our influence just by following 4 or 5 ideas. One of them is, remember that social media followers like to connect with people, not institutions. Mm-hmm. So while you may have a social media, a Twitter feed or a Facebook page for your company, they would much rather connect with you. So I always tell my leadership team at any organization I'm working with, have your own personal Twitter feeds. Throw ideas out there about your leadership at the company, your ideas, what you're thinking about. That way people connect with an actual person, not just a building, not just a company. People like people. And that's, I think, one of the biggest secrets to connecting.
Yep. Very good. Number 2, I like that. I got that down.
Another thing is, let people know what it's like to be you. Let me tell you a secret. Most people follow you as a leader because they want to know what your life is like. I mean, they can't sit down with you and just have coffee and a chat anytime, but through social media, you can tell them about the challenges you're facing, the choices you're making, why you're making it, decisions you're thinking about, all the kind of things that would really share kind of a behind-the-scenes intimate look at what it's like to be CEO or what it's like to be the manager of this department. Those kind of things, and people really want to know that. So I always say, get intimate. You know, you don't have to tell them super secrets about your life, but let them know the behind-the-scenes stuff that goes on into the kind of role you have, the kind of vision you have for your company. It can make a huge difference. Interesting.
That's a good point. What else you got for us?
Along that line, I would say number 3 is be real. You know, in social media, dump the policy handbook and be yourself. You know, so much. Obviously, there's corporate confidentiality that we have to think about. But be the real you. Don't be pompous. Don't try to constantly giving them highfalutin quotes about leadership and stuff all the time, although that can be motivational, inspiring. But the truth is, they really want to know what you're like. If you're fun, be fun on social media. If you're curious about things, ask big questions. So the key thing is be authentic, be real. Another thing is...
yeah, I like that too. I do want to mention, I tend to do a lot of self-deprecating humor because, frankly, I'm very easy to make fun of. Is that a good idea?
That's probably why you have 50,000 followers.
Okay, there you go. Okay,
make fun of yourself, have a good time. And here's another thing. Social media is social. Sometimes we forget that. We throw something out there on Twitter, on Facebook, people respond, and we walk away. We need to re-engage. If you say something really great that people respond to, go back and respond to them. If they come back with ideas or thoughts or things, like challenges even, go back and respond to them in a fun way. They want to know that you're talking to them, and they're much more apt to follow you if you can do that. Couple of final things. Number 1, use photos. Almost everybody will tell you that more activity will happen if you use photos. People, for some reason, are drawn to the visual. And in a world of social media, they're scanning things, they're looking through things, and they don't want to weed through a lot of text, but they like photos. So whenever you can find photos that support your quote or your idea or your thought, add that, because photos can really increase the chance of it being read. And trust me, with today's mobile phones, you're never without a camera. So if an idea hits you out on the road somewhere, snap a picture, make a comment about it, and you'll be amazed.
And there's really no excuse for not doing that. If you got a smartphone, you got a camera. I mean, taking pictures is easy. And even I can share my pictures. If I can do it, believe me, anyone can.
That's so true. And the last thing
you don't know me well enough to say that. Hey, wait a minute. Anyway, go ahead.
the last thing I would suggest, Kevin, is be provocative. Without crossing ethical lines or without being a jerk, throw an occasional hand grenade out there. Don't criticize or demean people, but point out the industry elephants in the room. If there's something in your business that everybody thinks about but nobody has the guts to say, bring it up. You'd be amazed at the people that will jump on that. Talk about controversial things, not just to be controversial, but to be provocative, get people thinking. And I'll tell you, you will really become a magnet for social media followers if you're willing to bring up the issues people are afraid to talk about and talk about them honestly and with respect and frankly, but still be provocative. It really makes a difference.
Phil Cooke, philcooke.com. And by the way, Cooke is spelled COOKE.com. So what do you actually do for a living? I noticed you have a couple of books there.
We have a production company in Hollywood. We're actually Burbank, California, here in L.A. We have a production company that works primarily with nonprofit organizations, helping them share their story more effectively. So we do videos, we do help them with social media, books. Really, if it's a nonprofit that has a great story that's doing great work around the world, we want to help them share that story more effectively. So we've done all kind of things from Super Bowl commercials to other stuff, but we love telling great stories.
Hey, make sure you check out philcooke.com. Of these 3 books I'm seeing here, are any of them about social media? If so, which one?
Yeah, Unique. My latest book, Unique, Telling Your Story in the Age of Brands and Social Media, is a great book to get you familiar with social media and how branding can make a difference for your company, your organization, or your vision.
Very good. Thanks so much for being with us.
Hey, I appreciate it, Kevin.
Well, you're a great guest. I enjoyed it. And we'll have to get you on in the future. Phil Cooke at philcooke.com. Make sure you put in the E at the end of Cook or you'll get nowhere. I'm Kevin Price. When we come back, we're going to have much, much more for you. I do want to remind you the show continues 24/7 at priceofbusiness.com. While there, like it on Facebook. Follow it on Twitter.